Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. Today we're going to be talking about Brynhild. I did build her. I did spend 350 mythic shards on her, and I wasn't exactly happy with the result. I recorded a lot of the build footage and some early testing, but end of the day I thought I'll just use the build part. I'll show you the final product, what my Brynhild looks like right now, how she's geared, and I'll then finish off by doing a little bit more showcase of her combat. Overall, what I'll say is I think she is relevant to the end game, but she will not be like, for if you're a top spender, you won't be using her. However, if you're free to play, I would say she definitely makes it into your top 5 picks, simply because limited heroes isn't available for everyone, and what I feel like we're going into is these mythic heroes will have a role to play among the free to plays for sure. All right, enjoy today's content. Here, we do not have Brynhild. Brynhild did get a rework, so now that her first 3 counterattacks, she is going to counterattack twice. And at the beginning of each wave, we'll also get block removal for 2 turns. In a way, I think a lot of people are wondering, like, is this going to help us change Brynhild to a point that we can bring her into the meta? I think the short answer is no. I know that's not the answer people want to hear, but I think the answer is no. I could be pleasantly surprised. I could be. But I think the answer is probably no. The main reason is I don't think the damage is there. But in this video, we will build her in. We'll have all the footage. We'll talk about how to build her. We will talk about, if she can even make it into the top 5 teams that are possible. Now, of course, I won't have her, fully geared out to a point where she's, breakthrough 5. But we should talk about, how viable can she really be at exclusive 4, right? So we're going to go take her straight to exclusive 5 there. I mean, her new Echo. Let's take a quick look at her new Echo first. So she's going to increase her direct damage by up to 48%. Okay. Noted. Crit damage is going to go up. And it's also going to give the team Indomitable for 2 turns. Okay. Indomitable makes it very relevant in the sense of this gives you the mastery damage reduction. And I feel like, in a way, if you think about it, right, this is the buff from Elise, right? Indomitable 2. So this gives dot damage taken reduced by 40%. And that is a nice buff that makes her Echo really relevant. And it's like, but the problem is it gives at only the beginning of the 2 turns. So it helps you with survivability, I guess. Allows her to change form and then counterattack back, I guess. It helps you survive a little bit of the dot damage there. Make her viable, I guess, on some of the tanky teams. Because this, and of course she's naturally tanky herself. But she is kind of vulnerable to dot damage. I guess the fact that she will give the whole ally this for 2 turns. And also have block removal means this can't be stripped right away. That definitely helps. And of course, when you counterattack, it reduces their turn meter and can be triggered up 2 times at the beginning of each of the turns. So whenever the counter, remove 1 layer of buff and reduce their turn meter. So this Echo, just even 1 copy of it, right? Like removing buff, getting Indomitable really makes this kind of worth. So we got enough. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I hope we can get one copy quick. And we don't have to spend a whole bunch, because that would totally suck. Brand new? Okay, excellent. We got Wolf Chase. Okay, good. I like that. I like that very much. Good, very good. And this means we are able to actually build her properly and showcase her completely. We got the new echo. Perfect, excellent. Okay, let's go back to building Brynhild. Level her up fully. Give her her brand new echo. Level it up to at least I'll say level it up to at least 20, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, we got crit damage. Now let's build her properly. She needs 100% crit. She needs a lot of defense. She doesn't need that much speed. We will want to put... I like the idea of having survival aura on her, actually. Though I think Combat Vanguard technically works, because she's going to be dealing direct damage from the counterattacks. Shield Smash doesn't really make sense. Honestly, I don't even remember how we used to build her. Because there were really nothing too defense about it, right? Like, I guess deep targeting works. Like, we used to do Boss Slayer just for direct damage. But, yeah. Well, we used to do Vamp. That's what we did a lot before. We used, we had a lot of Vamp on her. That's a great aura for her. Bloodthirst. Yeah, Bloodthirst definitely works for her. Just increase the leech, and then she's going to leech when she counterattacks. Alright, we're done with building Brynhild. Let's kind of show her final stats. Close to 100% crit. Crit damage. Could do with more effective res. Overall defense. More so just more attack and defense would naturally come from scaling up breakthroughs if you do plan to do that. Here's the emblem. In my mind, go for the attack tree and the defense tree here. Reduce the damage she takes, and then max out her direct damage component. Alright, I think the best way to test is, first of all, I think it's testing against myself, right? So if you look at my advanced arena team here, it is, what endgames feels like. And I would say, where you could potentially use Brynhild is, against something that kind of cleaves a little bit. Brynhild, first of all, will help you reduce the damage. Any dot damage, from Mural, it will reduce the damage it takes from Erito. So let's give it a try. Let's see if, if I build a classic super tanky team, could we potentially survive this nonsense a bit? Probably put a Wukong in there. And we will probably put Panda in here as well. And let's see how well we do. Like, just one Wukong, right? We just had Wukong. And hopefully this is enough to help survive. I can't guarantee it. I mean, first of all, we prevent ourselves from a CC, right? And Indomitable is still here, right? So we healed, right? So that's really good. The tanking is definitely really notable. Uh-oh. Well, she kind of just died there. Feel like she's not even the The thing here is when Brynhild changes form. Okay, so let's try again. What if Brynhild doesn't change form? Right, like just use her counterattack to strip, right? Even though a lot of the stuff she can't strip there. Let's just try this one more time here, where Brynhild is not allowed to change form. If she doesn't change form, I think she is somewhat tanky. And especially, right, for Cleave's team, you can definitely play into Cleave's teams with her. Especially if they use the likes of Lydia or anything that can actually be stripped. Right, early on, just straight up, you know, the extra Indomitable and anti-strip allows you to actually keep a lot of the buff the first couple turns. But it quickly falls short because Jingle Bell just wrecks a bit too hard. So I guess either way, you know, you're not going to be beating this team, unfortunately. But we do see kind of helping with survivability a little bit. I wonder if oh, we still have the Indomitable buff up. So, all right, that's been 2 turns. Nope, just not pulling it off. Okay. So I think in general, I think if we were to build any sort of here, let's skip these 2 and just see if what kind of contribution damage-wise did all of these counters actually do. Let's just quickly skip. Are we able to see the stats? Yeah, we can. Okay. So, you know, the counter damage is notable, right? It's notable. It's not something to scoff at. It's just, in today's world, the damage is not enough. Just to show you that, you know, my my Brynhild is, I'm sorry, I'm still coughing a lot. It's been coughing like almost 3 weeks now, unfortunately. So if you look at my Brynhild, the gear isn't half bad. All right. Yes, I don't have that many mythic pieces on, but we do have the new fast killing set, and I was lucky enough to roll decent subs on them. Then I'm running a sort of okay tough set. What I'm really going for is trying to go for high effective res. Pair it with Panda, you go for, and then her base is already at 200. What you're hoping to is just, you know, hopefully get to 250 to even 300 res if possible. That's a little bit asking for a lot, but if you could do it, that would be really, really nice because you can just straight up counter nonstop and she heals herself. You want to go for crit rate or crit damage, whatever it needs to bring you to 100% crit rate. I do have a few of these pieces that do require you to take them to mythics. At this one probably will all get taken to mythic, maybe even this one as well. It's nice to get some HP. The thing with Brynhild is she is so stats heavy, right? They say recommend these. I would say forget the speed. You even can benefit from effective hit, effective res. Like I am not cheaping out on her, right? Like you have one echo like you saw earlier in the video. Blessing, I am putting, you know, decent blessings on defense as well. The problem also is Brynhild, you do want some attack. The problem with direct damage is without piercing, what ends up happening is your attack divided by your attack plus the enemy's defense, right? So the more of your attack you have, the more penetration it goes through. So if you think about it that way, because of that part of the formula, if you have a tiny amount of attack compared to the enemy defense, you're actually not going to be countering for a lot. So ideally, even get your Brynhild to like, you know, 50,000 plus attack, like. And that gets really tricky because unless you heavily invest into your Brynhild and bring her to like level 180, you're gonna have a real hard time hitting those kind of stats, and that will potentially make a difference for you. But if you're free to play, that allows you to kind of invest over time into some of these heroes. But if you are a spender, I would just say, you know, don't bother with it because your limited heroes are going to just shine through. Let's take a look at, you know, against some of the. Okay, I won't bully Hacko, but let's see if we have some. Okay, so let's say a team like this. Well, it's kind of missing a hero there. What's going on? Here. picking on someone who, okay, so let's pick on someone like that. Not fully out limited hero. We have way better stats. Around level 150 average. You counterattack. Let's see how it plays out, right? Like, again, it's still very, very tanky. Like, the counterattacks are hitting. It's just not hitting as hard as I would like it to. We'll see shortly how much the damage comes through. Like, yes, I know a lot of it's coming like from. Okay. And okay. Feel like the pet did more damage. Okay, Brynhild, the counterattack is notable, right? Like compared to all of these other hits back, right? Brynhild did a decent amount. Let's go take a look at another one. Hopefully one. Okay, so here's another, early game, right? Like again, this is where what I'm running here is really old heroes. Like I should probably just take Henle out because I feel like Henle is probably helping too much here, maybe. Like Henle is just stealing the show a little bit. I guess the meta race also stealing the show, but the damage, it isn't to scoff at, right? Look how much Brynhild countered. It is notable. It is now. How of course, if you go fight someone, who's a lot more like this is sort of like an end game PvP team, and you will see this team will just completely fall apart against, an army of limited heroes. Right. It won't play into permafreeze either. It will get CC'd. You aren't immune to CC. You're just going to be shredded. Like there's no surviving it. Like we're not, and I don't think that's a fair look at that. The counter attacker just getting ignored by Giselle. But that's not the point. The point here is this team can play into people who don't have limited heroes, right? You're talking about free to play versus free to play. Okay, it's hard to find. Here, let's see if this player is a little bit more. Nope. Mikey. I think we just played against Mikey. Name Namar? No. Here, let's see how it does against myself. So let's find myself. And this is my 108 account. So against 108, this is a much more, lower stat team. But again, it is a Giselle, stacks team. Here, I'm going to, instead of using this, I'm going to use Wukong just to survive all that BS I'm going to have to deal with. And let's see how well it plays out. And again, Panda, I think everyone can get easily. Wukong we got recently as well. We got a decent setup. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna take out. Well, I guess yes. We got a lot of heroes from our faction here. Like the counterattack is like I guess supposedly, like here's the problem with Brynhild. I don't like is Brynhild doesn't her AI is kind of bad. She should be, well, I guess casting on herself, give her extra turn. The cycle's better, I guess. But arguably, if you put it on an ally, all of the extra counterattack will be nice. All the Wukong there definitely helps survivability. Honestly, I think having Santa instead of Soter here might be a better showcase. But again, the enemy is super tanky. But we are surviving, right? We are surviving. Yes, I know it's mostly Wukong and my ridiculous stats. Okay. Sorry for the coughing. Hopefully it's not bothering people. I think we're about to die because we just lost Sutter there. Let's skip and let's just see what our result is. Yes, I lost to myself. But you can see, again, the point here is her damage is not negligible. The damage, let's try myself one more time and then we'll kind of end the video here, is I think the point I'm trying to make is, you know, as a free to play, here, let's see how our damage compares to the likes of Lance. We're going to do this. We're going to put Panda in here. And let's just do that one more time. And just to see, you know, versus Lance in a situation like this. Yes, I know. I got extra attack up and defense up from Panda. That will help. But my Lance is also level 180. So I feel like, and my Lance has, you know, way better gear. So, you know, I think this kind of put things on an even playing ground. And I think when you have two sources of damage, I'm actually killing myself here with the help of Lance. But I think Lance probably outshined in damage. I think definitely outshined in damage. Okay. 10 mil versus 2.7. Okay. So if you have a Lance, you don't need Brynhild, but you can't use Lance on all 5 teams. So Brynhild is still, you know. So where does that put things, right? I think, yeah, I'm just not convinced that there are. So if we think about the free-to-play lineup, right? Let's compare that to something, you know, a next tier down. How about how a stack up against Moricus? Lance just on a whole new level. Well, Moricus also kind of is on a level herself here. That's a lot of counterattacks. Okay, we got the first life of we got the first life down. Guess changing form, I don't know, just staying for staying in that form really helps. Okay, we just lost Moricus there. But at least we got one life. We got one life out of it. Brynhild's gonna change form. Yeah, she's still not immune to CC, so that's kind of sucks. Okay, so I think we're dying now. But we can see the damage in a bit. Yes, while she lasted longer, she is also sitting stunned quite a bit. Yeah, it's over. Okay, let's see. How does it look? Comparable. All right. What's another hero that we can use that has that's kind of free to play? Is he still geared? He's still somewhat geared. Okay. Just for comparative sake, right? Like Mekio is going to get a rework, but you know, compared to, you know, what is feasible, the anti steal buff at the beginning, paired up with a lot of your heroes, actually does give you quite a bit of a option early game now. Like Indomitable, compare with, you know, stealing buff and all of that, the counters from it is relevant. Okay, so I feel like if you're mid game or if you're lacking, you know, access to limited heroes, which is probably majority of you who are free to play, I do think it gives us option. I think for us, a lot of end game players who are just saying Brynhild are completely useless. Yeah, but that's also coming from people who are big whales and have all the limited heroes. Like, yes, I get it's not going to help you into your top of the game, but Brynhild here will, like, damage-wise, like, it's notable, right? It's just, it will help you survive the beginning. I think it will help you convert and stabilize. The question is, I think, you know, I don't know if I'm going to put her to 180 anytime soon, but, you know, I'm probably going to build her on my other account, depending on what the next few Mythic Hero reworks are going to be like. I mean, the feedback is, I think here's kind of the conclusion. If you're already an end-game player, you have a bunch of the latest heroes, the most broken heroes in the game, probably not. But if you're free to play, these Mythic Heroes are meant to be useful. And the fact that we, you know, only went up to exclusive 4 means we still have hope. There could be another buff to it somewhere in the future where we get a 5th exclusive, right? and then hopefully, you know, they get caught up. Again, I don't ever expect mythic heroes to beat limited heroes, but I feel like they should be on par with some of the strongest legendary heroes in the game. I do hope that that works out that way. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Gandalf out.